Hello, everybody. 1 second. Have a good night. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Okay. 1 second, everybody. I have to say goodbye to a couple people, and I will be right with you. Muchas gracias. Okay. Hey, everybody. Sorry about that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So we're back. Sorry. People are leaving the Ecoparque. It's the end of the day. Pupy is just sneaking back in her barn right there. I will go around, see if we can get a better look, and then see if she'll come over to her container. So everything's going pretty well. We actually lost a little bit of trust with her today. We were trying to work on a couple things, a little more subtleties, and a gate was moved when it wasn't supposed to move, and it just kind of set her back just a little bit, but we'll see. She was a little bit calmer at the end, a little more calm at the end of the day, and we'll just see how things evolve tomorrow. She's quiet today also. She was really, really, really sleepy. And before I go any further, I will let you guys know once again, we are here at Ecoparque Buenos Aires. The Ecoparque is going through a lot of transformations. They have relocated more than 980 animals out of the zoo to sanctuaries internationally. And the next one in line is Pupy, the solitary African elephant. Her mate, her friend named Cookie, another female African elephant, passed away a few months ago. And we're in the process of getting her ready for her crate training. She had been doing really, really, really well, just not closing the door quite all the way. And then we're making some progress, and it kind of set back a little bit today, but she's doing well. Just trying to go through those paces of what it means to transport an elephant internationally. Give me a second. I'm going to walk around the corner. Can't really zoom in really well here, but I'll see if I can get you guys a little bit closer. Again, she was out just a minute ago and then went right back in her barn again. It varies throughout the day of when she goes in and out. Again, she's a little bit tired today, a little bit withdrawn this afternoon. Nothing substantial, just a normal life change. Today's a little different than yesterday. So let me see if she'll come back into view here. She's in the door, but you can't really see. It's a little too dark there. Hey, Poopy, Margaret's asking her to come on out. She was, and then it never fails. I go live and she goes and hides. So she's going to have access to the crate all night. And then at the end of the day, end of the evening, Trish and I will come back and see how things are going and just have a look at her. They haven't really given her access out at night, and she's actually pretty comfortable in the crate. She does explore a lot on her own, but when people are around, sometimes she loses a little bit of trust. So we're just changing that behavior, changing the training a little bit, changing the procedures a little bit, trying to create a little bit more flexibility and comfort for her, as well as a little bit more flexibility and a little more dynamic scenario for her care team. But she's doing well. Every day we are reminded just how different African elephants are than Asian elephants. As you all know, we have 5 Asian elephants at Elephant Sanctuary Brazil, and Pupy will be our first African elephant. But it's been a while since we've been around Africans, and they just make me laugh. They're just entertaining. The way they move, the way they walk, the way their legs move, their trunks. I mean, everything's so vastly different about them. And clearly, she's a shy girl. She wants to stay in her barn when I turn the lives on. So here we are once again, looking at her structure and her facility. We said it before, but again, exciting to be part of the change in history here from this facility of 120 years of captive elephant containment, and soon to have no more elephants in Buenos Aires. It looks like the caregivers are walking out the front door, so she may be coming back out with us in a minute. The relevant elephant just said, set her free. We're working on it. We're trying to get there. Not always easy sometimes, especially these elephants that have been in captivity for so long and in really this very isolated environment. Made a little bit more complicated because Cookie's not with her, and she's a little bit more self-protective, as we said. She's a little bit more not really defensive, just a little more guarded. Um, I asked somebody earlier today, does she know when to lay down to sleep? And she said when Cookie was here, when she would get tired, she would go and lean on her, uh, lean on Cookie to rest. I did also see a video of her laying down on these piles of dirt here. Really cute at night. So I'll be anxious to come back here at night and see what she's doing. But Christine Santos, what day will they be leaving? That's probably a question from one of our supporters from other groups. Christine is one of our team members back in the United States. She's filling in questions from various sites, so they get pushed towards me. And what day will they be leaving? We don't know. It all depends on Pupy. Just see how it goes. Each day is a new day, and each day is a new step in progress. And as we said, lost a little bit of ground today, not substantially so, but a little bit of ground. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. So bear with me a minute, guys, because I see the front door of her barn still open, so I think her keepers are just finishing up. Like I said, when I went live, she was out, and then she immediately went back in, which seems to be the way. Where'd she go? Now she's all the way in the barn. So, all right, give me a minute. We'll hang out and see what's happening. See if she comes and joins us. But everyone's doing really well. A lot of our work right now is with the care teams, just helping everybody stay calm with no expectation. There's a lot of pressure on them, sometimes just within themselves to not let her down, thinking that she's, if they don't get her in, she's not going to be able to go. Of course, we're going to be able to make it work. We'll have to take that one step at a time, but we're trying to keep the team comfortable and confident. Somebody just said there's Georgia Sanctuary has an African and Asian elephant that share the same space. It can happen. It's really not ideal, but it can happen. And a lot of times you see conflict in that scenario, and a lot of times with African elephants, especially those with tusks, puts the Asian elephants at a little more compromised space. They can't push and shove the same way. They really don't act the same way. Their language is a little bit different. Their social behavior is a little bit different. And while they can adapt, there's our girl walking through, and to the other side in the barn, once again not coming out. It can be. It can be. Sorry, I'm looking at all the other comments. It can work okay, but a lot of times it can also create conflict. And if you have the opportunity to separate them, to give them species that do speak the same language, have the same behavior patterns, it is better. You probably remember the history here. Mara, who's at the sanctuary, female Asian elephant, lived with Pupy and Cookie, the two African elephants here, and there was conflict between them. And then they spent the next almost 20 years separate from one another. Not quite 20 years, but a number of years separate from one another. So somebody said, how are the ladies back home while we're gone? They're great. The ladies are doing really, really well. They're in good hands. They're doing exceedingly well. Somebody just said, have you considered the coming days and the rains for the trip? We would love rain for the trip. This time of year, it's a little bit warm when the sun comes out, so the more rain, the better. The trip is a little bit slow anyway, not going too fast, so it's not an issue for the speed. It actually just makes it much more comfortable for the elephant during the transfer. Somebody said, do Africans and Asians have the same lifespan? It's really, really close. Close enough that it's not worth saying there's much of a difference. I think generally some people say that African elephants have a slightly shorter lifespan, but it's really, really close to the same. Let's see. Oh, there's another question from same thing. Africans have same lifespan as Asians. Similar enough to say it's yes, slightly different, but not substantially so. I don't know if our little girl is going to come out. The trip is going to be about 4.5 days. We do have a border crossing, and that delays things a little bit. There's a lot of bureaucracy at the border crossing, so the plan is that we will arrive at the border at night, so that we are first in line for the morning, and we're not stopped there. Caregivers are still in the barn, so I think that's why she's hanging out. we're not stopped there during the day waiting for things to happen. So we stop at night when it's nice and cool, and then we will cross first thing in the morning is the current plan. Is there a fence line that they could interact over? At this point, no. Once we do the expansions, they will be relatively close, but there will not be a common fence, but they'll be divided by just a small road between the two habitats. But we will have an African elephant coming soon. Hopefully everything works out for Kenya to join her in the coming months. So when Pupy arrives there, she will be alone, but just for a short time. Let's see, so you consider middle age? Yeah, she's middle aged. She's 36 years old. So, but captivity has a lot of compromise on these elephants. We know that. We've talked about it for years, and we've seen the impact that captivity has on these elephants. So, exactly where she is in from a physical health perspective is hard to say. She does have some joint issues, really, really obvious joint issues. She does have some arthritis issues. So, we'll have to monitor that and see what we can do for her. But yeah, considered middle age. Kenya's doing really, really well. Kenya has not started her crate training yet. There's our girl. She has not started her crate training yet, but that's going to be happening soon. And she's just continuing with the training and requirements for her sanitary tests. Let me go this way, for the test required for importation. She goes in her crate. Somebody said, how will things be on the trip? How many people around her? Camera in the crate? I'd like to know more about the trip itself. Okay, cool. So the trip itself will be actually a pretty extensive team this time because she is the last elephant and probably the biggest move, the last giant big move that they've done from the Ecoparque. And the last one scheduled for some time. They have a few other animals they're working with, but she's the last big move. So there will be some folks from the political team, as well as the logistics team from within the Ecoparque. She's grabbing all the bamboo out of the crate, and hopefully she'll not run inside her barn with us. Let me walk around a little bit, and sorry if the camera gets a little shaky for a minute. Oops. So from the Elephant Sanctuary Brazil side, we will have me, Dr. Trish, when we get to the border, Danny, Simone, and Julia. We will have a van that we've contracted and 2 drivers that will help us out on the trip. And then on the Argentine side, there's approximately 20 people. That includes drivers for the vans, but also drivers for her truck. Try to get a little closer without losing her. So we have quite a big team this time, bigger than what is ideal, but it's also a really special move, especially considering all that has happened within the Ecoparque and all that they've done for all their relocations. There's our cute girl. You can see, and this crate is the same size that we used for the Asian elephants, actually the same crate we used. So she is a relatively small female African elephant. We talked about this the other day. Really quite charming, really cute. Not really vocal and not incredibly expressive right now. That could just be from her life here in a smaller enclosure. It could also be because of her having just lost Cookie. We don't really know. Somebody just asked about local police. Yes, that we will have local police on the bridge. We will have highway patrol on the Brazil side. On the Argentine side, they will not, but they have already contacted all the agencies along our route, so everybody knows. So if something comes up, they're going to be there to talk to us right away and help us out. Somebody said, will she get other herd mates aside from Kenya? Yes, eventually. There's several conversations taking place. Exactly when that's going to happen, we don't know. but the plan is to continue to expand so we can continue to receive more female African elephants. Somebody just said, "I wonder what she will think of the other animals in Brazil." Who knows? But she's pretty chill with the peacocks and others. She will kick at the peacocks, and they actually start coming back to her enclosure at night. They seem to like sleeping here. But we'll see what happens when she actually has true wildlife running around. How many captive elephants are there in South America? Right now, the number, I believe, is around 40, 35 to 40, so not that many. A lot of the population is quite old. They're all over 50, especially the Asian elephants. The African elephants, most are a little bit younger, mid-30s. A couple younger than that, but most are mid-30s, 40s, and older. She's a good girl. She's a good girl that just needs to trust a little bit more, a little more self-confidence and a little more confidence in us and her team. Let us close the door a little bit more, and then we can hopefully head on our way. She's getting there though. We don't have a move date. It really just depends on how she's doing here. Trying every day, see how it works. A lot of the logistics teams are in place, so everyone's kind of in standby mode. With calm, everybody's taking it one step at a time, and they know that unlikely going to happen today, or definitely not today. Unlikely going to be tomorrow, maybe the next day, maybe the day after. We'll just have to see how things evolve here for our little girl. All right, guys, I think that's going to be about it for me this evening. I have to go have some conversations with some of the management team here and talk about things for tomorrow, a few changes we're going to make. So I will be heading out, and I want to thank you all again. You guys are amazing. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for following along. Hopefully we'll see more of Pupy in the next couple of days. She stops hiding on me every time it's time to go do a live, and we'll share a little bit more maybe early tomorrow morning. She'll be walking around a little bit, but all her friends are starting to come back. Peacocks all around right now. Some in her yard already. All right, somebody said, have you talked to her about the move? Yep, every chance I get. The last couple of days we've been a little bit further away. Today I started getting a little closer, just kind of letting the other team, the primary team, work with her. And today we started shifting that up a little bit. So I was able to go a little bit closer and kind of hang out with her and talk to her a little bit more. But I know Trish has been chatting with her about her relocation, and then also sharing photos and showing her what's to come. We've been trying to do the same with the care team, the caregivers here, just to show them what that life is going to be like for her, just to keep them engaged and positive and moving forward. They're all really supportive of the move, but when things slow down a little bit and you lose a little bit of progress, sometimes it can be demoralizing. So we're trying to keep them moving forward also. They're doing really well. It's tough. It's a big change for everybody. All right, guys, I'm going to have to go. So we'll talk soon. Lots of love, big hugs from Argentina, and we will talk soon. Take care, and ciao, ciao for now.